Alrighty then, moving on to the next stack of movies. You're probably getting tired of this by now, but we have the multi-feature of Resident Evil Apocalypse, and Resident Evil Extinction. I love the Resident Evil films and games. I think Milla Jovovich is an amazing, talented actress. She's beautiful and she's just awesome as Alice, who's not part of the video game franchise, but, you know, she's still kick-ass, and I like these movies. They're full of action and gore and awesomeness, and they're just awesome. They're just awesome. I love them. A lot of people criticize them, but I love them. So, I've got the triple pack, and I also have Resident Evil Afterlife, which I actually saw this in 3D at the theater, and it was incredible in 3D. And I really enjoyed this one as well. Really well done. And Resident Evil Retribution, probably the weakest film that has been made so far. Still not a bad film or anything, just not as high quality as the previous four. Still worthwhile to have in my collection though, or your collection. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, a cult classic musical that has Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon, some other people in it. It's got a cameo from Meat Loaf in it, and it's got a lot of iconic songs. The soundtrack is amazing. And so many people dress up as Dr. Frankenfurter. I think that's his name, right? Dr. Frankenfurter? I haven't seen this in a while. But it's amazing. I love it. I love how cheesy it is and over the top, and I just love it so much. Next up, kind of a B movie, The Roommates. It's got Leighton Meester and Minka Kelly in it. And it's just about this girl gets a crazy roommate in college, and the roommate does all this stuff because she wants to be best friends with her new roommate, but she's crazy. And, you know, it's just a B-movie kind of thriller thing, so, I mean, it's pretty entertaining to me, but it's not like gold or anything. It's not a great movie, but it's entertaining. So if you need something to watch, you definitely rent this. I don't know if I'd say go out and buy it unless it's super cheap, like when I got it was like $3, so unless it's super cheap I wouldn't buy it. Next up is The Runaways. A lot of people did not watch this, but it's fantastic. It's got Kristen Stewart as Joan Jett and Dakota Fanning as Cherie Curry, and it basically just tells the story of the Runaways, the group that Joan Jett founded with Cherie Curry, and it's based off Cherie Curry's autobiography, and it's wonderful. It's directed by Floria Sigismondi, who just before this she has previously directed music videos. But yeah, it's a really good film, and I love it. And they cover some of the classic Runaway songs, and they have amazing singing voices. It's really stylish, really just amazingly shot and all that. So I highly recommend watching this if you're into musical kind of films. It's not a musical, but it's related to the music industry and all that good stuff. Now, this movie is so good. As many of you know, Firefly is my favorite show of all time, so I had to get Serenity, the tie-in film that picks up kind of where Firefly left off. It's just so full of action. You get to see all the beloved characters return. It's amazing. If you watched Firefly but haven't seen this yet, watch this, but if you want to watch this and haven't watched Firefly yet, watch Firefly first because it'll make way more sense. But this is a masterpiece. I love it. I love it to death. One of my favorite rom-coms of all time, She's All That, is also one of my favorite movies. I love it. It's got one of the best endings ever in a film. And it's just like your typical high school movie, but it's got a little extra flavor to it, I would say. It's just so good. It's way better than a lot of the typical high school movies. And I recommend it to everyone. It's funny, it's heartwarming. I mean, there's some sad moments in it. It's really relatable, and you can really connect with the emotions and the actors and all that. So yes, watch this, especially for the ending. Next up is Shrek. This is the only one in the franchise that I own, but I adore the first Shrek movie. Oh my gosh, when I was a kid I watched it a million times on VHS. But yeah, it's just a really cute movie, and it's based off fairy tales, and it's amazing, and I love it, and you know, it's pretty awesome. Just saying. If you haven't seen Shrek, watch Shrek. Your life will be changed forever. Now this movie right here freaked me out. But it's Smiley, And it's directed by Michael Gallagher. He is on YouTube and it stars Shane Dawson and Toby Turner from YouTube. My cat's watching me right now. It's kind of creepy. But as you can tell, Smiley is really creepy looking. And, you know, I kind of couldn't sleep that night after I watched this. And it even scared my dad. He doesn't really get scared that easily. So, yeah, I thought this was going to be a cheesy B-movie kind of thing. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's really terrifying, just saying. Next up is Snow White and the Huntsman. I actually really enjoyed this film. And yes, this is the film where Kristen Stewart cheated on Robert Pattinson with the director. But if you look past that, this is a good, solid remake of the Snow White legend or, you know, story or whatever you want to call it. It's very action-packed. It really focuses on her relationship with the Huntsman, hence the name. But Charlize Theron is incredible as the evil queen. And I guess that's her name. Yeah, the evil queen. And it's just really worth your time. It's a dark take on the Snow White fairy tale, and I love it. Another Kristen Stewart movie. This was actually made for Lifetime, I believe. But it's Speak, and it's based off the novel by Laurie Halse Anderson, which I adored. And this film is great. It's great. Kristen Stewart does an amazing job. She basically has 0 lines because this girl is silent, but she conveys so much emotion. And so many people think Kristen Stewart can't show emotion, but if you watch some of her more independent films, she shows a wider array of emotions, I guess. But it's fantastic, and she's younger in this. It's a pretty, I wouldn't say pretty old, but it's older than what you're used to, I guess, with Kristen Stewart. I can't talk today. Next up is another Studio Ghibli film, and my second favorite one, Spirited Away. Fantastic. If you haven't seen this, watch it. It won the Best Animated Film Oscar in some year, whenever it was released. But it's incredible. It's about this girl who, with her family, they're moving to, is it Japan? I think it's Japan. And they take a detour, and parents get turned into pigs, and she has to reverse the curse and all this, and it's incredible. Incredible, beautiful, amazing. Hayao Miyazaki is a genius. Watch it if you haven't. Next up, Stardust. This has Michelle Pfeiffer, Claire Danes, Robert De Niro, several good actors, and it's based off the book by Neil Gaiman, and it's incredible. I'm saying all these movies are incredible, but they are to me. I just love it. It's like a dark fairy tale. A lot of my movies are dark fairy tales, I've realized. But yeah, I love it, and I highly recommend it if you like fantasy type of movies, but they're not too fantastical, and if you like dark kind of movies with romance and intrigue and action mixed in, Stardust is perfect for you. And the last movie in the stack is the reboot of Star Trek with Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, and Zoe Saldana. I loved it. I'm a huge Trekkie. I prefer Star Trek over Star Wars, and that's all I'm gonna say. I really enjoyed this and the sequel that I do not own. So now we're on the last stack of movies, and you're probably all going, woohoo! I know I am on the inside. But let's just get going with this. It's Struck by Lightning. This is a really charming movie, went under the radar. It was written by Chris Colfer, who plays Kurt on Glee. It's just about the story of a boy who wants to become a reporter, but he gets struck by lightning, and he dies. So then you relive his days before he died, and it's so touching, and it's so wonderful, and I was so pleasantly surprised by this film. It's amazing. Watch it. One of my favorite Disney films of this generation is Tangled. It's the story of Rapunzel. Flynn Rider is a gorgeous, gorgeous animated character, and the songs are beautiful, the movie is beautiful, everything about it's beautiful, it's Disney, I love it. There you go. That's the only reason you need is Disney. Now we have 13, which is basically based on Nikki Reed's adolescent years, but a lot of this was totally blown out of proportion. But it stars Nikki Reed and Evan Rachel Wood and Holly Hunter, and it's a really trippy film. Like, I tried to watch this one time when I was on antibiotics. Don't do it. it'll make you sick to your stomach. It's so trippy and the camera angles are all over the place, but it's a really intriguing film and it's really good. It's just kind of, if you don't like movies with weird shots, weird camera angles, you know, weird effects, don't watch this because there's a lot of those in this film. But it's really just a coming of age tale and it's really good. Now we have the first two Transformers, because after these first two, they kind of went to Suckville. But it's Transformers and Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. I don't know. I love these two films, and I was a huge Transformer fan when I was little, of the original cartoons. And you know, I like these first two films. I watched them several times. I love the action in them. I love the Transformers themselves. I love the Autobots and Decepticons. And I love these, but after these two, the movies just disappointed me. So that's why I don't own Dark of the Moon or Age of Extinction. But yeah, I enjoyed these two. Really enjoyed them. And now we got another series, which I'm just going to pull out all the films I own in it. But we have Twilight. You're making fun of me, I know, but Twilight New Moon, Twilight Eclipse, Twilight Breaking Dawn, and Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1's extended. These movies are a guilty, cheesy pleasure of mine, but I love them. I love anything basically with vampires in it. I love the romance between Edward and Bella. In high school, I was the biggest Twihard. If they make more Twilight movies, I'll watch them. I have no shame in saying that I'm a huge Twilight fan. I'm a huge Twihard. I love it. So, sue me, okay? I like my vampires glittery sometimes. I mostly like them with blood dripping out of their mouths and all that, but sometimes I like them glittery, occasionally. Because you know I like glitter. Next film I have, again, involving vampires, but it's the Underworld trilogy, which has Underworld Evolution, and Underworld Rise of the Lycans. I need to get Underworld Awakening, I don't have it yet. But I love these films, they're dark, and they have the vampires and Lycans, which are the werewolves, and it's just really interesting. Kate Beckinsale kicks ass, and you know, it's just fun to watch. They are very gory, so it took me a few times to even be able to finish one of these films because I didn't have a strong stomach then. I do now, but these are very gory, but very action-packed, very worth your while to watch if you haven't seen them yet. They're just incredible. Incredible vampire films. Next up is a movie, I haven't watched it. It was super cheap. I did watch it before, just not this DVD. Valentine's Day. Now, you're laughing at this too, but this is an anthology film with a bunch of different big name actors, and it's all based on Valentine's Day. Some people are couples in the film, some people are single, and all this stuff. They have different stories, and you know, it's really cute. It's a good date movie, or a good movie to watch with your girlfriends, if you're a girl. And you know, it's just really cute, and if you can pick it up cheap, get it, because it's not really worth full price, but at a cheap price, it's definitely really entertaining and funny and heartwarming. I haven't opened this one either, but I have seen this movie and I loved it, but it's What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Now this is heartbreaking because Leonardo DiCaprio's character has, is it autism? I believe it's autism, and the kids in the town are cruel to him. And it's so heartbreaking. Johnny Depp's his big brother, and he takes care of him. It's such a beautiful, moving film that everyone should watch. Leonardo DiCaprio was actually nominated for a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for the role, but he didn't win. But that tells you how great this film is and how great the performances are. I love it. And my favorite movie of all time, right here, Where the Heart Is. It looks super cheesy, I know, from the cover, but it's phenomenal. It's a romance, comedy, tragedy, family film, and it's just perfect. It rolls all of it perfectly together. It's based off of Billy Letts's novel, which I adore. You should read that if you like this film. And it's just got great performances by Natalie Portman and Ashley Judd and Stockard Channing. It's a fantastic film. I've watched it at least 10 times, I swear. It's so good. And the final film I have is X2, X-Men United. I do not have any of the other X-Men movies, which I need to get because I'm a huge X-Men fan. But yeah, I like this movie. I saw it in theaters when I was in elementary school, and I have really good memories of this. I always loved Rogue, which is played by Anna Paquin, but back then I didn't realize Anna Paquin that I was going to basically fall in love with her work later on in life, which is kind of funny. But I love this movie. I love it to pieces, and I want the rest of the X-Men films. So that was my entire Blu-ray DVD collection. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I had some trouble with speech and maybe not as chipper as I usually am. I'm kind of under the weather, but thank you for watching if you watched all the parts. And as always, please like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment down below or leave a video response about what your Blu-ray DVD collection is. I would love to see it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, because I would love to have you as an Alycat. Favorite so your friends and family can see, and share me as long as you do it nicely. I love each and every one of you so much. It's crazy. Peace and kisses.